Good evening, guys, and happy Sunday to all of your sunshiny faces. So I don't know if you guys can still tell. I already brushed my teeth, used my water pick, and used mouthwash already, and my tongue looks like it is still blue. My lips don't look as blue. My teeth look like they're okay, but I had some of those. They were like the Warheads Galactic Gummies or something like that. Got them at Jewel a little bit ago. And they're actually pretty good, but literally the advertisement on the box is like, turns your tongue blue. It looked like a pen had exploded inside of my mouth, guys. Like literally, that was how bad it was. I was like, oh my goodness. And like I said, I did all of that and like my tongue is still like dark blue. But it was pretty like weird too when I'm brushing my teeth and like everything is like completely blue. Like the entire sink is like blue after brushing my teeth, like using my mouthwash, my water pick, like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, like I said, they're pretty tasty. Had them a couple times. Like I just got one box, but like I never can like eat an entire thing of candy. I'm not a huge sweets person, so like again too, like these were over the course of a couple days that I ended up having them. But like I'm, like I said, normally not a sweets person, and if I am, it's like sometimes chocolate. Every once in a while I want something that's a little bit more like tart or something, but it has to be a very specific type of tart. These were actually pretty good, but they weren't like Warheads, like super sour. They were a little bit, but like they just tasted kind of tart, but they weren't really sour. I like things that are like sour, like lemon heads and stuff like that. The thing is I don't like about lemon heads is like after you like get to like almost the end of it, they get like really gross and kind of chewy, and like the taste just, it kind of gets gross. Like it tastes like kind of like processed, like, you know, whatever, like corn syrup or something like that. Like it just doesn't taste really good, especially at the end of like the, like, again to whatever type of, if it's like hard candy and like that kind of stuff. But like again too, I haven't had Warheads in a while, but like I had a lemon head recently and I was like, I don't really like that much, like again. But again too, these Warhead, like I said, they were like galactic gummies or something like that. They also have like the Warhead wedges. I haven't tried those, but it was again a couple different types of like gummy kind of candies. Normally I don't have like gummy candies, like gummy worms, like that kind of stuff, because normally they have gelatin in it. Since I don't eat meat, I don't eat anything that has gelatin in it, but these didn't have that in it. They were just like, you know, they weren't like gummy worms really. It was just kind of like chewy candy, I guess. So like I said, they were pretty good, but it turned my entire mouth blue. Like I said, it looked like if like I was chewing on a pen and it exploded. There's like ink all over the place, but no, it was from the candy. And like I said, it's weird that like one of the flavors I think was called like Galactic Blue, and that was probably the one that was probably the worst. And that was the flavor. I don't know what flavor Galactic Blue tastes like, but then they had like normal flavors. It was like strawberry something or like blueberry whatever, you know, something like that. But then they also had the flavor Galactic Blue, I think. I don't remember. It was like the last time that I was having them that I looked in the box. So yeah, I don't know. But one of the big advertised things, I think it's like on the back of the box, that was like, turns your tongue blue. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want that. Like, don't advertise that. I mean, I guess it's a good thing if you don't want, you know, or you want to know ahead of time. Anyways though, we didn't end up actually getting to any painting today. If you guys have been following the last couple days, I've been sharing with you guys our project that we're working on in the other room. And the reason me and Jack didn't do it, we could have gotten a coat of paint on in the evening. I ended up having dinner a little bit later. I feel like it took me a little bit longer to eat. Also too though, my dad, what he was working on in there today, he ended up taking the light out, so there's no light in there. So if it would have gotten like darker, we wouldn't have been able to see anything, and we wouldn't have been able to paint into the evening. So that would have stunk. So like, and even too, the light that was already in there was not very good. Jack had to use, when he was painting the closet, he had to bring in like one of my dad's little like shop lights, because we couldn't see anything. You like couldn't see, and also too like the shadows in the closet, like where, based on like where the light is and stuff like that, was like really bad. And Jack's like, I cannot tell if I painted this or not already. So I was like, why don't you go and get like, you know, again, the lights, and we could just put it in there. So we ended up doing that, and like I said, it worked out that day, but having absolutely zero light or having to have that little light and just keep moving it around would have been even worse. So we were like, let's just, you know, like, might not be the best idea. But the reason that my dad took the light down is because he cut a hole into the ceiling today. A big hole into the ceiling. He needed to get in there because, and the thing is that there's already a small hole that was in the ceiling that was from some water damage from before. That was part of the roof that I think I told you guys, like, when we moved in, we didn't know that they didn't replace, or they didn't, I think they didn't do a full tear off when we moved into the house. And there was water damage. We noticed it on the second floor, but nobody's thinking normally that there's going to be water damage then on the first floor. So because of that though, the water damage probably that was happening from the first floor was going into the second floor and ended up, like, you know, again too, causing the water damage, which caused a hole in the ceiling. So that wasn't good. And again too, it wasn't something, like, the thing is that when it happened though, we didn't notice that there was any water damage. It just, like, the ceiling just like fell in because of the again to the water pooling above the what's it called, the drywall. So, but there was no like visible marks of there being water damage, like, whereas again too on the second floor you did kind of notice it, which is why it seemed kind of weird, like when we first moved in, that there was, again too, and this was a long time ago, that there was a problem with that. We've since had the roof fully replaced, full tear off and everything like that, but we think when we moved in that they told us, or possibly told us, I don't remember exactly, but again, I was little, it was 20 years ago, but said that they had done a full tear off and they never ended up doing it, and then this was a problem that had started then and then just accumulated, and then all of a sudden just became a huge problem that, again too, we weren't really noticing that was a problem. But we had the roof, again too, like I said, all of that replaced and everything, and again too, even the drywall upstairs, we did our full renovation upstairs. We tore all of the drywall out and built new walls upstairs. Not because there was damage, we just wanted to add rooms in upstairs, so we built in more like rooms upstairs. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, so like I said, there's a hole already in the ceiling, and so the plan was that we were gonna have my cousin who works for a company, they do like drywalls, they already did our floors in the one room. We're gonna have them do the floors and patch the ceiling hole, which isn't huge, but it's probably about the same amount of space that my dad ended up creating today, because I was like, well, since they're gonna be here and they're gonna be fixing the drywall anyway, could we just cut in two like lights in the bedroom, because it just has one overhead light. And I was like, I really would love to have my bed, which is a 4-post bed, but I want to have the canopy on top of it, and I don't really like it because it makes the room feel a lot smaller when you have the canopy on it. But since I'm going to be in a bigger room, I was like, I really want to have it again. And we found it again in the attic. Like, this was actually my dad's sister's bed, my aunt's bed, from like when she was little. And she had 2 sons when I was like born and little. So I think that either she ended up giving it to me, or it was like my grandparents ended up giving it to me because it was like maybe at their place or something like that. Either way, we ended up getting the bed when I was like really little. Like, I remember having that bed since I was like probably out of my crib. Like, ever since I remember sleeping in a big girl bed, that was the bed that I've been in. I've never had like a different frame for it or anything, and I really like it. And it's like, again too, kind of, you know, it's an older, you know, like much older bed. It's well older than me, but you know, it's just like, I think that, I don't want to say like the craftsmanship on it's really like cool, but it's, again too, not something that's super, and wouldn't cost you a lot of money nowadays. So I really want to like keep it and use it. And like I said, I think that the canopy aspect of it, I want to do like sheer kind of like canopy curtains on it, and you know, like that kind of stuff. So I have ideas for how I want to do it with the canopy, but as of right now, it's just a 4-post bed because I don't have the canopy on it, because again too, I have shelves on the other wall right next to it. It'd be right in the way. So but where I want to have my bed, I was like, can we just cut 2 lights in on either side of the bed now? Because the other thing is too, the room is pretty big, you know, again, bigger, and just having 1 light in there feels like it could use two. So why not, if I'm gonna have the canopy in the middle of the room, which is where I want to have the bed, like in the middle of the room, and then have a light on like kind of like either side of it on the ceiling, makes a little bit more sense. So I already have ordered the lights, which I got on sale. They're actually, I found them on Home Depot's website, but then I saw that they were on sale, the exact same lights on sale on Amazon. I was like, I'll go ahead and grab those, because the one that I have in here wasn't cheap, that I got from like Menards. But since this is going to be Jack's room, he doesn't really want the chandelier. My mom is going to take that for upstairs in my parents' bedroom. I think put that in the reading nook that they have upstairs, because I don't think there's a light for that right now. And then Jack's going to take the old fan that was in the other room and put it in here so that he has a fan, because I don't have a fan with the you know, with the chandelier that's in here. So I like them. They're like flush mounted, like they mount to the ceiling. This one can hang or be like, you know, again, flush mounted, I think that's what it's called, to the ceiling. But yeah, so anyways, my dad ended up making a giant hole in the ceiling today to cut that in, but also because of that, he was doing the electrical and took the light down, so there's no light in there. So that's what's up today, and that's why we didn't end up getting to any more painting. But the plan is to do it tomorrow during the day when it will be sunny out, and then possibly more in the evening after Jack and my dad get home from football. The only problem is, like I said, it might be dark by that time. So Tuesday we might be doing it. And as of right now, we don't have anything scheduled, like, oh, we need to, you know, again, have the rooms ready and stuff like that for when they come to do the ceiling and the floors and stuff like that. So since we're like probably further back on the waiting list as of right now, because I think it took us a few weeks before we ended up getting, like, by the time we agreed, you know, to have the floors done, and by the time they ended up actually coming to do it, because again too, they have other project stuff, you know, going on. So it was a couple weeks. So like that's kind of what I'm expecting to, like, maybe within the month or so. But ideally we want to have that room, like I said, and all of the now 2 holes in the ceiling and the floors redone. Where I think we're gonna have them do the ceiling, paint it once they finish patching the holes, and then also to do the trim on the floor. We're gonna have them do that in that room, and then in here they're doing the floors, and we might have them do the trim also. But we want to paint in here, so I have to get all my stuff out. We want to ideally have both rooms being done at the same time. Like they could be like doing the floors maybe in one room while they're waiting for like the drywall stuff to, I mean, it's gonna be a multiple day project, but like they could like have the ceiling, you know, be working on that, but like the, you know, the drywall compound stuff, whatever, has to dry. Like when we had the other contractor that we had doing the, you know, other drywall stuff upstairs and in the other room, it took, you know, like he was here like several different days. So, and again too, even with the floors, you have to do the floors, but then you have to let them dry and stuff like that, and then reapply like the stain, you know, all that stuff. So that will also probably be a couple day project. But they could again too maybe be doing these floors while they're fixing the hole in the other room, and then maybe doing the other floors while they're putting the trim on in here, you know, something like that, so they can kind of do both rooms and both projects at the same time. So I have to be out of here, which is stressing me out, because that means I have to pack up all of my things from in here and figure out where they're gonna go, which I don't know where that's gonna be. So like I said, it's a little bit chaotic. But as of right now, since we don't have any dates set for sure, I need to just start thinking about packing up my room, so that once that room we're done painting in there, we're done, and then we have to get painting in here. So that means that my things have to be taken care of. So I haven't really done much as far as that goes, because my head is just kind of, I'm overwhelmed by it. And yeah. So anyways, like I said, it's just, you know, it's one of those things. It feels like it's going to be a huge daunting task, but I feel like once I get moving with things, it won't be that difficult. And the problem is not the packing the stuff up. I'm good at that. I love packing, actually. When I painted this room a few years ago, I packed everything up that was inside this room. I moved it all upstairs, which was what at the time was Matthew and Jack's room. So, and I spent again a couple days up there while all of my stuff was packed up and also up there while we were painting in this room, because we again too did painting. We even replaced like the light switches and the outlets and all that kind of stuff. So like most of the stuff in here might not really need to be replaced, because it is fairly new. So again, that stuff might not even really need to be done. But again too, it wasn't that difficult to like move all that stuff upstairs and pack and everything like that. And I had everything so organized. Like when I moved back down here, it was so easy, put all the stuff away and everything. The problem is I don't know where the stuff is gonna go. So I'm like, I have to figure out like priorities. Like obviously I can't put like candles out in the garage because it's gonna be too hot and they're gonna melt, you know? So I have to put them in a temperature controlled space. Like, you know, I might be able to keep, you know, again, some stuff like out in the garage, but there's other things that, like I said, I can't put out there. I can't put up in the attic because again too, it's not temperature controlled. So I have to figure out, you know, like my records right now are in my mom's office upstairs, and a lot of stuff is probably gonna have to go up there, and it's just out in the living room in boxes for like a handful of days. So like I said, I might even too, once we finish with painting the other room, I might move at least like myself and like my bigger furniture potentially into like my bed and that kind of stuff into the other room for a period of time before I need to move out, so at least I have a room, so I'm not like sleeping on the living room floor for like, you know, what could be an undisclosed amount of time until we know when they're going to be doing the project. So that might be the plan, and just staying in there for a while with 2 holes in the ceiling. But like I said, it's just like the chaos of I don't really know what's going to happen is kind of stressing me out, because when they are working on both rooms, I'm gonna have to be probably sleeping in the living room on my mattress on the floor, because I can't really do anything else or go anywhere else because there's no other space in the house for me to go. So like I said, that'll be interesting. I don't know. Even Jack too, he was like, if you want to take the back room, he's like, I'll put, you know, like I'll take my mattress and sleep out in the living room like maybe a night or 2 or something like that. We might switch, and like, because like I said, it'll probably be a couple days. It's not just gonna be like one night. I just have to stay in there. So so we might be able to kind of do that. But like I said, it's just a little bit the thoughts in it is all a little chaotic. So anyways, I'm gonna take a shower and get to bed, but I thought I'd just share with you guys an update on the project and kind of where we are and stuff like that. Still have to finish the painting. We probably would have been done on Friday, but we took like off on, what was it, Thursday or something like that, and then we didn't end up, we only got like 1 coat on Friday, and then we didn't do anything yesterday, I don't think, and then we didn't do anything today. So yeah, like I said, we definitely could have had it done before the weekend, or at least by the weekend. But yeah, it's also too, I think I'm trying to avoid the fact that once that's done, that means that I have to focus on my stuff, and I don't want to. So I'm like, if we have to keep pushing off doing the painting, that's fine. But anyways, like I said, I'm gonna take a shower and get to bed. I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.